Real quick, before we get into the goodness, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified to every time we upload a video. Appreciate you. I'm going to talk about something that is going to sound like an oxymoron. That is the regression of progressives, or to do it another way, the regression of progression. You see, I keep up with events. Sometimes they may hit my radar a little later than normal, but I do keep up with current events, things that are in the news cycle, more or less things that either interest me or I believe are going to affect me. One of those things that I've done several segments on, to all those that have been listening, thank you again, appreciate it. That is the culture war. And to be more specific, the fake racism, the race baiting, the phantom racism. I've called it many things. My favorite is phantom racism. Interestingly enough, the race baiting, the phantom racism, comes from the left, the progressives, and the people that they rile up. And you can take this next part of the statement however you want it. But the people that they tend to rile up are low IQ people. They are very lowest common denominator style people. And what I mean by that is, these are people that do not think for themselves. These are people that believe everything that is told to them, even the thing that's contradictory to the other thing that was told to them. And it comes from the people who they say are on their side. I'm leaning more here into the black culture, black community. I've played a segment by Malcolm X in previous segments that I've done before. And I'm going to play it again here because I feel that it really helps drive the point home. Now, what you're going to hear is very specific, but I'm going to bring it out to a broader topic. Check out Malcolm X.
In this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely the race problem, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the white liberals control this ball through tricks or tokenism. In this game of deceiving and using the American Negro, the white liberals have complete cooperation of the Negro civil rights leader, who sell our people out for a few crumbs of token recognition, token gains, token progress.
Now, here is what I am saying about this. What he said there has been completely and totally dismissed, but has proven truer and truer over time. Do you know who gets more offended about supposed racist things than black people? White liberals, white progressives. They find themselves more offended by things than we ourselves do, because they stoke that racial flame, and honestly, until they say it's racist, most of black people don't think it's racist. Another example, Another thing that I'm going to use here that will actually drive my point home is something that I use in several examples when talking to people about this very thing. There is a scene in the first Matrix movie. I'm going to play the scene and let you see exactly what I'm talking about. So check this out.
And don't worry about the vase.
What vase?
That vase.
How did you know?
Oh. What's really going to bake your noodle later on is, would you still have broken it if I hadn't said anything?
In that scene, let me tell you how it plays out in current world, in the picture that I'm painting for you. The vase is racism. We, the common people, are Neo. The oracle represents the progressives, white liberals, the media, all that. Now, when put in that context, the media tells us, watch out for that racist act. We turn around looking for it, bump into something, go, oh dang, that was racist, wasn't it? And then the media behind closed doors is going, I wonder if they thought it was racist if I didn't say anything. Think about it. Take the media, take white liberals, take all that stuff out of it. Take these people that claim to be on our side, take them out of it. Look at each incident for exactly what it is. And do you still think it's racist? Because there are things that are overtly racist that they don't say anything about, that they don't say a damn thing about. I will give you the example. As y'all can tell, I love my movies. I will give you an example using a movie. To me, the second Transformers movie was easily the most cringe, if not racist, then racially insensitive film I've seen. They had two Transformers in that movie, two Autobots, the twins. They were stereotypical black teens. You go watch that movie.
That's because you the
You
one.
guys forced me into that car, right? So
I think he's scared.
what are we gonna do with this shrimp
You
taco?
just bump a cap in his ass, throw him in the truck, and then nobody gonna know nothing, not me.
Yeah, not in my
Yo,
trunk.
bumper cars? Check it out. I'm hearing you, okay? I'm right here, and I can hear you. No one's popping any caps in any asses, okay? I've had a hell of a day.
Why don't you get a haircut with your bitch ass? Old school, yo. That's Cybertronian.
Oh, that's some serious stuff right there.
They gotta mean something, like a message.
Read?
see
Nah, we don't really do much read.
They talked in slang. One of them had a gold tooth. And then they made the really overt stereotypical thing going, oh, no, man, we don't do that reading thing. No, we don't read. And nobody said But then you'll have a movie based in Europe, based in fantasy or whatever. But that film is racist because it lacked diversity. They are telling us what the racism is while being very racist. Hence the topic, the regression of progression. Civil rights leaders fought to get equal and fair treatment to African Americans. And yet you have places now saying how we should have our own dorms on college campuses. We should have our own spaces. And the lowest common denominator, the low IQ people, are trumpeting that. They are parenting that. They are supporting that. That's nothing more than segregation. The very thing that people marched and died for, they now have y'all believing that it's a good idea. Not only that, but because they are your supposed ideological friends, you are helping them in segregation. Remember when our great-grandparents and our grandparents thought that whole whites only thing was bullshit? Our great-grandparents marched and got dogs sicked on them and hit with water hoses so black and white could eat together, sit together, walk together. And now they are telling us that we should have our own space. And we're like, yeah, we shouldn't have to sit with y'all. And notice where it is taking place in the cultural battle. It's taking place in colleges. It is taking place at the very foundation of the next generation. Even in high schools, when they try to do that, push that CRT shit, they are trying to get it in the foundation. That is why they are so insistent upon pushing agendas in the youth, because Young minds are easily molded, and once they set, they are very hard to break. These same people are telling y'all that us people, normal folks, logical thinkers, we are the ones that's wrong. They love to throw out terms like Nazi and communist and blah, 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 when that's exactly what they are. That's called projection. Accusing someone of what you're doing. Putting onto someone else what your own fallacies and insecurities are. That's called projection. People, it is the regression of progression. Progressives don't understand exactly. Let me say that another way. I believe half the progressives don't understand exactly how racist they are or how racist they sound. They even took phrases and words, and the first thing they think about is you must be referring to black people. That is a insult to me. Like when I hear somebody use the word thug, and it's white folks that got on there, not black folks, white folks. You know, that's racist. You know, when they say thug, we really know what they mean. I think they mean thug. I didn't know thug only was restricted to one race. So back in the 20s and 40s, those people that were involved in organized crime and did illegal things and violent things, and they called them thugs and hoodlums. That was only black people. Well, somebody better tell Dutch Schultz and Lucky Luciano that the people that were under you were apparently all black. Do you see the racism there? So thug is only reserved for black people? I guarantee you that when you look thug up in a dictionary, it doesn't have a race associated with it. They put it there. The people that claim to be on your team, they put that there. The progressives, if there's ever a negative word or connotation and they are on the losing end of it, all of a sudden it becomes racist, or it becomes sexist, or it becomes a phobe. Why? Because there is no logical way to defend their point or their side, so they have to emotionally incite you. So don't let the progressives con you into believing that they're on your team when they are the ones that are the most racist. You need to ask yourself, why is it that anything negative, such as thug or any other thing that you may use to describe someone in a negative manner, why do they always have to revert that to a race? Why is that? Because that's the first thing they think of. I will give you a psychological trick that I learned back in my college days. And it's the way the human mind works. You can lie to everyone else, but lying to yourself is something very difficult to do. So the trick was this. The professor said, everyone close your eyes. He goes, now here's what I don't want you to think about. Do not think about a pink pig sitting on a red brick wall. And what's the first thing your mind pops up in? You think about that pink pig on a red brick wall. See, whenever you heard it, that's the first thing that pops into your mind. So it lets me know exactly how racist that the liberal side is when they hear the term thug or hoodlum or criminal. And the first thing they think about, oh, that's racist. You're referring to somebody black. Why did you think that? They're telling on themselves, and they rely on your low IQ level. They rely on you being repeatedly told on how to feel and what your opinion is to shield you from what's right in front of your face. Those that claim to be your ideological allies, those that say that they are your political friends, are the ones that are working against you. Yo, if you want to hear the rest, make sure you check out our podcast. You can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms. That is iHeart, Pandora, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Plus, if you want to reach us, drop us a line. You can find us at freemindthinkers2022@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about us. Leave a comment below and share the video with as many people as you can. I greatly appreciate that. This is your man, Big Brother Tucker. See you on the other side. And always remember, never be afraid to think differently.